All right. We have more to bring to you guys. I am working on this around the clock, okay? Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure you guys are tuned in. Make sure y'all have y'all notification bells on if they're not on because we're bringing it to you ASAPing 10, okay? So, Warren's stepmom, Judge Ashley Cole, just got a man arrested, and it is connected to the Nolan Wells case. Now, if you guys are wondering what is going on, what happened, well, as you guys know, or maybe you don't remember, but when the sheriff first started speaking out and he talked about how they had the FBI involved. But if you remember, he only said that the FBI was involved regarding threats made to Ashley Cole.
However, considering
this investigation is active, it's ongoing,
he wasn't able to confirm much. Ledbetter did confirm that interviews have been conducted with witnesses, and the department has been in contact with other departments and agencies, including the FBI. The investigation has benefited from information brought by the community.
This recent week, we've got a lot of valuable information that has come from the public. We put out a call to action last week for that information, and it has been very productive for us.
All right, so in addition to that news clip, there was also an article written up by WLOX, and WLOX is the person that you just saw the interview from John Ledbetter. Now, as I stated, they specifically made it clear that the FBI involvement wasn't for Nolan Wells, but that it was for Ashley Cole. So on July 16th, they had in this article, new details have been released on the Federal Bureau of Investigation's involvement in the Nolan Wells investigation, along with dispatch audio. Wells' body was found in the water off Horn Island on the morning of July 6th. Wells was reported missing the night of July 4th after he did not return from a boating trip with friends. And then they pointed out that FBI is assisting, and it says Jackson County Sheriff's John Ledbetter confirmed with WLOX that the FBI is helping examine digital evidence collected so far. He said the involvement is not out of the ordinary as Horn Island is on federal land and the sheriff's office frequently works with the FBI. They went on further to say that the FBI confirmed with ABC News that the agency is, in quotes, working to address interstate threats that were received by individuals related to this matter. The agency did not identify any of the recipients, but some people have stated publicly that they have received threats. And then it says Jackson County Chancery Judge Ashley Cole shared a Facebook post addressing threats made to her family amid the investigation. Cole is the stepmother of one of the three teens who made the trip to Horn Island with Wells. One of Wells' friends, Trayston Shepard, told ABC News he and other friends who were on the island also received these threats, but they were clearly sending a hint that this was for Miss Cole and not for Nolan or anything else. Well, we have information that the arrest has been made, and we're going to get into that. So let's go to the Sun Herald to bring you guys up to speed on the newest information. California man arrested over Nolan Wells related death threats against Judge Ashley Cole. Now, once this had first popped off, she had took to social media to basically say, I'm scared for my safety, I'm scared for my kid's life, etc. And then there was an FBI investigation that was launched into threats made against her. Well, it looks like they have made their first arrest, and it is related to a man in California. Now, basically what happened was he let her know a thing or two on her social media. It says a California man is in custody in Mississippi on a federal charge accusing him of sending direct message over social media threatening to unalive the Jackson County Chancery Judge Ashley Cole, according to records found in the case. Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumarce of Sacramento is being held on a federal charge of interstate transmission of a threatening communication, a crime that carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison and a fine up to $250,000 and 3 years or up to 3 years of post-release supervision. So this is what he's looking at as far as sentence if he is convicted, and we have all of the information. So as you see here, it says agents with FBI Safe Task Force identified Dumarce, who used the username Yay962 by tracing email IP addresses associated with the account, including an email along with a date of birth, phone number, and street address linked to the account. Investigators said the information resulted in the identity of Dumarce as the user behind the Yay962 account that sent messages to Cole. The charging document also cited one of many messages Dumarce sent to Cole, including some previously cited by Cole that included threats with pictures of her children. All right, so let's pause on the information on the arrest for just a second. More on that in a little bit, but I'm going to revert you guys back to a post that I made back in early July, and I posted up a post on IG where it said that Judge Ashley Cole, the mother of one of the boys last seen with Nolan, said that she fears for her safety of her children, and I let you guys know a little bit about that. Now, in many of my lives, we go over this statement and I read it in a Southern accent, but some of you guys like it, some of y'all get annoyed by it. Being that this is a serious thing and they're flexing their muscle and cracking down, let me just read it to y'all on a serious note and breeze through it a little bit quicker. So let me give you guys a refresher. It says, our family, along with the community, grieves the loss of Nolan Wells. Our thoughts and prayers are with Nolan's family. Our son Warren loved Nolan dearly. Unfortunately, I feel that it is appropriate for our family to dispel some rumors with facts based upon the social media attention that is being diverted away from the Wells family and their loss. Yes, I deactivated my Facebook given the very heightened emotional state of social media right now. I fear for the safety of my child and my children. My husband and I have 6 children, and we covet their privacy. Okay. We do not believe it is appropriate for our minors' children's photographs to be circulated throughout the internet, presenting potential threats to their safety. Okay. I graduated high school with Christine Wells Wansley. We are from the same community. I have the utmost respect for her and all of the Wells family. We mourn the loss of Nolan with them. Our prayers have been and will continue to be with them. My husband and I were not at Horn Island at any point on the 4th of July. No one in our family is trying in any way to impede with the investigation by law enforcement or otherwise hamper the family and law enforcement's quest for answers. Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and cooperated fully. He saw Nolan last around 3 p.m. on July 4th. They left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taken on water and they had an issue with the bilge pump. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends. Yes, I am a judge. I also value transparency. I apologize if anyone was offended that I deleted my social media. There was no nefarious motivations in my deleting my social media. All right. Social media has a lot of positives, but a whole lot of negatives. We live in a world of clickbaiting, sad but true. My family is hopeful that this information will help to redirect the attention to the Wells family, their grief, and their need for our community's support. So I'm sorry. I can't help it to say so, it just gives like that Southern twang. But let's continue with the report of everything else. Now, let's go over to the charging documents because we got the documents, okay? Somebody in my comments gonna say, make sure my news is good. First of all, we don't talk about fake news, baby. This ain't that. Talk about don't be the first with news, be correct with the news. Well, let me let you know, DJ0112, we don't come with fake news over here. We're not one of them. And don't you ever in your life, again, get it twisted. Now, let's go to the charging documents, all right? We have the documents. We have the papers. Now, boom. So this is the paperwork that shows you my news is real. Okay, like what? Who you thought this was? You thought I was Batum Tatum or something? Child, get it correct and come correct, okay? Period. In this indictment, it says, on or about July 11, 2026, in Jackson County in the Southern Division of the Southern District of Mississippi and elsewhere, the defendant Joseph Alvarez Vasquez Dumarce did knowingly and willfully transmit in interstate and foreign commerce a communication containing a threat to injure the person of another to with a direct message on Facebook threatening to unalive Ashley Cole, all in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 875. As a result of committing the offense as alleged in this indictment, the defendant shall forfeit to all United States all property involved in traceable to property involved in the offense, including but not limited to all proceeds obtained directly or indirectly from the offense. Further, if any property described above as a result of any act or omission of the defendant, A, cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, B, has been transferred or sold to or deposited with a third party, C, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, or D, has been substantially diminished in value, E, has been with other property which cannot be divided without difficulty, then it is the intent of the United States to seek a judgment of forfeiture of any other property of the defendant up to the value of the property described in the notice or any bill of the particulars supporting it. All right, so then on the next page, it says all pursuant to Title 18 United States Code Section blah, blah, blah. And it is, they put a signature of foreperson of the grand jury. So they brought this matter to the grand jury. And we should be getting a grand jury notification in Nolan Wells' case just as fast, right? So it says in the United States District for the Southern District of Mississippi, United States of America, v. Joseph Alvarez Vasquez Dumarce. All right. And then it has his, like the criminal number and his charges and what he faces. Now, thanks to... Shout out to Gerald from the NC Beat. He was able to send over Mr. Dumarce Vasquez mugshot. All right. So this right here is his mugshot from Megan's Law. So it appears that he is an S offender. All right. So he is an S offender. And he also said these things to Miss Cole. So that is a picture of him right there. Then, in addition to that, let me show y'all. This is some of the things that he was saying to her on her social media. So this right here is, I guess, a screenshot that she posted of threats that he made. And as you can see, he went down her pictures and was saying different stuff. So he said that he started following her, and immediately once he started following her, Then right after he started following her, it says, open up your insides on one of the pictures with her kids. It says, I got your email, your phone number, your address. What's stopping? And I think it says, what's stopping me? And then another picture of her and her kids. It says, these two are going to be strangled till their eyes go red and lips turn blue. Then there was a comment under another one of her pictures that says, slow, painful death. Then there's another one that says, I'm going to get you when you leave work. And then there is another one that says, there's going to be a bomb sent to your office. And then there is another comment that says, I'm going to wrap this kid in a blanket wrapped with barbed wire, etc. Now, they also had a DM message from him, and the DM allegedly sent to her said the following: there will be a package coming to your guy's office in the next few days. It's going to blow you away when you see it. LOL. Probably best to have the boys there to see as well. Blood. So much blood everywhere. Hard to clean. All right. So after he said that, the news translated the rest of what he said. And it says that after he said so much blood everywhere, hard to clean. And then it said, especially from a boat. But yours will be quick, I promise. I got all you info. Not even the FBI can stop this. Once that package is open, the timer will start, and then you have maybe 10 seconds or less to ask God for forgiveness. And then it talks about how other messages allegedly threatened Cole's son and said that they're going to be... Then it went on to say how in 2019, he was arrested by the Sacramento Police Department on suspicion of exposing himself, and then attempted to take a person that was barely a teen outside in elementary school, according to the Sacramento Bee. Now, according to an entry in Megan's Law, California's SO registry, Dumarce was convicted in 2019 of annoying or M-wording a child under 18, and in 2020 sending harmful matter with the intent of seducing a... He was released from prison in California in 2023, according to the registry, and he is listed as being a transient in Sacramento. Now, as you can see, he is listed as a transient. Now, if you guys don't know what that means, and more than likely you should, that is another word for homeless and unhoused person, and they're saying that he is out of his mind, clearly. And some of these accusations are that of somebody who ain't got it all upstairs and is very sick. In a world of conspiracies, you know, and I'm not normally a conspiracy theory type of gal, but I was having a conversation with somebody and I was like, hey, you know, there was an arrest, yada, yada, yada. And they were like, what if that person, because they were homeless, was paid to do this, etc., etc. Now, I don't know if we that deep into the thick of it, but what do you guys think about all of this? Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'm going to make sure to keep you guys updated around the clock. And I want to also know, since this grand jury was so swift for Ashley Cole, Miss Judge Ashley Cole, will Nolan Wells his autopsy be handled as quickly as this? Now, as you can see, these threats started a little like a week or so ago, and Nolan Wells, it is reported that his autopsy is complete, and supposedly they're going to be making the announcement. So being that this is going to be announced, hopefully it goes just as swiftly to a grand jury so that we can find out what the actual findings are. Now, a lot of people are jumping to conclusion because Tatum put out salacious rumors. A lot of people are coming to the conclusion because he was washed up on the sand that he possibly drowned. But without the neck and the lungs and those throat structures, we don't know until we see what the medical examiner has to say. Now, being that they are swift for Ashley Cole, it makes me think about when Mr. Trayston said and warned Ben Crump and Nolan Wells' mom that they don't know who they're messing with. Now, I'm going to hope that, this is not, coming to fruition where people are made an example of to show who they're messing with. And hopefully there is an honest and transparent investigation, and they are actually taking this seriously and not just brushing it under the rug to have Ashley's back. Okay, let me give you guys a refresher on what Trayston said in Tatum's interview, and then y'all let me know what y'all think down below.
Stir up a community that's already tight knit. Yeah, we might not be best friends with everybody, but I promise, if you're talking about Ocean Springs as a whole, Ocean Springs is going to have Ocean Springs back 110%. We back each other. Everybody I've seen, we back each other. And for them to push this narrative and really push it just shows me is like you have no idea who you're dealing with or who you're messing with. And I think he's taking the grieving parents and manipulating and turning this and making it sound all bad, because nothing's like that.
All right, so what do you guys think about this arrest? This guy in Sacramento has been arrested and he is charged. Did I show y'all his mugshot? Because I did when I went live. Now, immediately when I went live, my live got flagged, so I had to redo this video for y'all. But if not, the mugshot should be on the screen. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Is this a message to let people know that Ashley Cole is not to be messed with, or is this simply the FBI doing their job and investigating a threat that they would otherwise take seriously from anybody? Or is this something else? Y'all let me know what y'all think. And the autopsy results are in. However, we don't know what they say. What is your predictions on what it will say? What are you thinking? Let me know down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.